friends and family and people. Today I'm gonna try and do this video without the dogs barking, but it hasn't happened so far, so you might have to endure a little bit of barking. Otherwise, I never will be making this. I just wanted to come on here and tell you a little bit of what I've been doing lately. Not too many videos have come out, so I thought, well, I'll just get something nice on, put some makeup on, comb my hair. Well, I just washed it yesterday, so it's a great day to try and do this. And my husband went off to the gym, so here I am, and we will try this. First of all, I mentioned my hair and everything because after I had cancer treatment, it never came in very thick at all, just very, very thin. And I have to do some things to even make it look at least okay, even though it's not. And I left it gray because it was blonde before I had the cancer treatment, but some of the blonde was out of a box, but or most of it, I guess you'd say, but it was turning gray, so it was, blonde was okay. But enough about my hair. I just wanted to say that because the person I try to be like, I really like Fifi O'Neill. She's done a lot of different magazines. One of them, I don't think it's out anymore, but it's Romantic Prairie. And it got all kind of wrecked because I dropped it in the bathtub. But I really like her style and shabby chic and white things. I like many different styles. But anyway, I'm not going to look like Fifi, but I try. I try. Got to look like somebody, right? Because we don't always like what we look like. So anyway, I have been making snippet rolls the last, I don't know, I guess a month. I'm not sure. Really getting into it the last month. And here's one of them. And then I'll have a little bit of a longer one here. That one's like 36 inches long. Let's see, I don't know if you're seeing this backwards or not, and I think you might be, but this is the other one. And I sold a bunch of them already on Etsy. If you're reading that backwards, it says journal. I forget how this camera works, if it's the other way around. I'm going to attempt to organize the smaller areas of my room, which means these set of drawers here, and those drawers, and this flat surface here. I have been bringing out some things recently that I want to finish up that I started, and one of them is, well, those 3 boxes have themed journal supplies that I've kind of curated over the last few years. So I have I have a sewing one, lavender and French. I would like to recover those boxes as well and reuse them as needed or put other things in them. And then they can go up there. So I think I might move this to that wall and put my printer right here, which is on the other side of my area where I work. And we'll see how that goes. I can use the back. I can use the back portion, and right now, because I put a board back there and it makes that corner available to put something on, which I put jars of buttons. But the problem with that is it's hard to get to. So am I going to use those buttons very often? No. So probably would be okay to turn it this way and utilize this whole corner rather than the way it is now. And I will, at the end of this portion, at the end of the video, I'll kind of go around and show you again what the the room looks like, but it's in fairly decent order. I do have a issue with piles of linens and papers and things sometimes, mostly linens and lace and things. I wanted to change this area. My idea might work and it might not, so I'm just bringing you in along for the ride. Okay, so here's my idea. Let's see if it works. Here's the piece I was telling you about. It comes off of an old steamer trunk that wasn't very big, so I guess that's a good thing. We'll see here. I don't think my idea is as wonderful as I thought it might be, but there's a little compartment here and one here, so I could hide lace in here, but it's not so hidden that I can't reach it, you know, fast. Really? So right now, I think I'm talking myself into putting lace, just piles of lace in there. I think that might be what I need to do. I have this container. It has a certain kind of lace in there. So really, I think it's going to be okay. I just have to refine it. Like I said, put more, maybe fold up some things in here, and certain types that I know when I want that type, I can go in here and get it, which isn't what I have right now, but I can do that later. And then these things can really just go on top after, and then I have to put stuff in this long container, but okay, so how easy is that too? Oh, I will put more things in there, I guess, but I think, see how it's got handles, one handle. Yeah, it's not that hard to take off and on. I think that's gonna work. What I probably will do is try not to put anything on here and put this somewhere else and put little things on here, and maybe, and like I said, the lace. All right. Let's see how that works. The last couple of days I brought out a lot of different papers and organized them in these clear sheets, envelopes, and I want to put those on the flat surface I showed you, and we're going to see how that works. I do have to refine it a little bit, but because I just wanted to get it done, I didn't separate like the cardstock items and the regular paper, which would be a good idea, but I did separate this. These are, I know what they are in my mind. It's hard to explain. It's just like a lot of blank paper, some transparent vellum paper, chipboard, different things that kind of go together. And these are all regular things I've printed out mostly. Now, my friend Sonia gave me these sheets and these containers as well. And it will be very nice to have them a little bit better organized than what I already have, which I'll show you some of that too, and in a minute. So here is what I did. You saw the before, and then here's the after of my the sleeves. I tried to make it as organized as possible. Like this is book pages. There are I have lots and lots of paper to choose from other places, but I put some of my ones I use often in here. And but this is just utility paper, I guess you would call it, like coffee dyed paper, lined paper, any kind of plain paper that's not printed on. I have it in this one, and then these are all my just things I printed off, and some of them are my original things that I will print from as well. I can go back in there and organize it even more detailed, but for now this works very well. And I had promised in long time ago in one of my videos of my studio here, art room, whatever, that I would go through and show you the drawers and things. Well, I did clean it up a little bit because of this here, but, and I will move this over so you can see a little better how I have it. So all of that's handy, and it doesn't take up too much space. But I do like to have things out. I am the kind of personality that likes to be able to grab things. So then I forget about the stuff that's in the drawers, and that's not good. But I do have the major things that I use all the time out. Let me move you back here without bumping too much. So, and there's another dresser I have to refine. It's not too bad, and one thing is I know where everything is. Once I change it, I kind of have to get adjusted and sometimes forget. So now I'll just show you the close-up of what's inside the drawers. Okay, before I show you inside this dresser, I would like anybody that is still watching to just make a comment. Put a heart in the comments is all you need to do. Or you can say still watching at whatever mark it was. I don't know what it will be. But you can see on the video if you want, or just write still watching and I'll know because I'm saying it right now. Okay, so we'll start with this drawer. This is like my paper clay molds as well. I do have a little bit of extra accessories. I might have to refine this a little bit. Maybe there are, oh, there's some files of paper in there too. So this one does need to be refined. When I redo this dresser here, I can put more like things with like things. And I do need to arrange my vintage linens. Well, I have a lot of vintage linens already in a dresser, another dresser, but my lace that I use all the time needs a place, needs a home rather than out like that. Well, that's quilting and stuff, but there's some lace under there too. So this is embellishments, lots of jewelry and stuff, and this is these containers Sonia, my friend Sonia, gave to me, and they help quite a lot. They help a lot. And these are the containers that I can get more of it somewhere. These are not dollar store containers, but something similar to refine some other things. So there's the papers here I've shown you, and these are all my original ledgers and things like that are easy access, and I know that it's all in one place, so that really helps. And I just like to have pretty these pretty sewing machine drawers out. My daughter painted that one, and then that's an old antique type tin, like a biscuit tin. So this drawer has ribbon and also my a lot of my pre-made tags. So that's all in there. And I know where to get it, because if it's put away too, like I said, too far away, I won't know. So Then in here, I really can't get in there, but it's all my old cabinet cards and photographs like that. In here is something that doesn't need to be in there. These are some original books and things. I guess it's a music book. My friend Sonia again gave me the wallpaper, which I am going to copy and do something with that. And then, you know, books and things. And these are all mostly music books. And then in here, some more. Whoops. It's going to fall apart if I do that. But there's more photographs. And then this is all, I believe, sewing. To make a sewing journal out of with this folder. And then some more originals there. So this one can be refined a little bit because I actually do have some room in there. And I could, you know, do something better with that. But that's how it is now. And then in here is more paper. More things I've copied of my own design, or things I've gotten from Etsy, or original, you know, like ledgers or things like that too. And behind it is just books that are keeping this upright. So that's kind of a waste of space. The books are things I can use to make journals, but, and all of that on this side is Christmas. So maybe this year I'll make another Christmas or a Christmas journal. In this drawer is all baby clothes, like baby and toddler, that I can maybe cut up for a journal, but some of them I've put on hangers and hung up in my house and things. But this probably can be taken out, and I can fill that with things I actually will use to make journals or sew with, things like that. Not that I won't use some of this, but I think I will refine that a little better too. It's not the greatest use of that space. So this video is kind of all the things not to do. Here is some cheesecloth, some batting for journal covers. I kind of like it there because I know where it is, and I don't have to go out into another where I have storage in the garage, the room in the garage, to get these things, which is what I would do on some things. So I'm going to organize these drawers one at a time that are in my sewing area. There's some things in those drawers to the left there that I really don't use very often, and I can move them out of the room, put them in my other storage room. So what I'm going to do is take some of the thread out of here. I use this drawer the most when I'm sewing, but I don't need all the thread in there. And so I have this box, the one my daughter painted for me years ago. And it used to belong to my mom. Probably, I would imagine she got it either in the 50s or 60s. So I'm going to take this thread out of here and put in there. All done. It looks much better. Everything is easily accessed. I've got all the bobbins that work on my FAF machine in there, and the rest of them, these work on my brother as well, brother machine, but I have extras in another drawer in case I need those. And everything, lots of seam rippers. Everything's accessible. easily. And there's not a lot of, well, there is no extra thread in there like before. Spiderweb thread, balls of thread. And then here is my extra thread that I can access at any time. And this will just reside over here. Now I have to fix up my desk as well. It is in need of some cleanup, but not too bad. I put that table there so I could put my glue and then the paintbrushes and extra scissors and all that in there to have that handy. So, and then there's the wastebasket. Tune my heart to sing thy grace. That's what we all need, is that heart that is tuned to the Lord's grace, even in cleaning the room that we work in and create in. And it just does get to be a mess because we are doing things, and that's how life is as well. Sometimes the messes aren't created by us. Sometimes it's, you know, not our fault. But the Lord's right there, giving us grace through it all. And we can see that when we work in our workroom, our craft room. All right, I'm finished with everything. Well, not completely, but as far as the main things go, I have finished. I do, like I said before, I have refining to do in the dresser and some of the drawers and things, but for now, this is looking good. I left the ironing board up because I use it, and I will be using it, I mean. So over there is nothing's different than from the last time we saw it, but then it's looking good. And the dresser has been moved. My husband helped me with it a little bit and didn't have to take the drawers out that way. And I have some room over there to put another wall hanging, or move those 3 to the right to center them. Maybe put a corner shelf in there. So that I have to look forward to doing, sprucing it up a bit. I was able to put everything that was on here except for those 3 jars that I told you about that had buttons in them, and that they were moved over into my cupboard that has buttons in it already, which I'll show you in a minute. I can access my Gemini still very well, and like I said, not too much has changed over here. But I'm hoping not to pile things. That's my goal. Don't pile a lot of paper, but we'll see how that goes. I have thought a lot of times, am I a collector or a creator? And the answer is both. And when you make journals, you can collect a lot of things. But actually, that happened before I started making journals, so I had the things already. All right, so over here is where I put the jars on the bottom shelf there. And then I already had jars of buttons up there. And I really like the old mason jars. I had a collection already, so just put the buttons in there so we could see them, or I could see them. And that's a fun part of all of this too, is just to be seeing all the things that you've collected, as well as we create. Those that like this sort of setup, because some people like the modern, and that's fine too. But if you like this sort of thing, for me anyway, it helps me to create more, I guess. create what I want to create. I don't know. It just helps in my creativity. So those two rolling carts can move about because they do roll. And that's what they're meant to do, right? So we, as in me, myself, and I, can move it about to the right over here if I, want to access it better. And as I'm working, and then when I'm done working, they just can live over there. And on the top, I do like what I did here. Someday I might do something different, but I like, because this is, like I said, pretty. I think I said it before. Yeah, that little old embellishment print there. And then the border is pretty too. So I have that, and then the boxes on top, which I'm happy with. I can move them about and get them out of the way if I need to. And that was the point of doing all of that. Let's see, what did we... I think did I already talk about this? I'll cut it out if I did. But I have the printer and the printer paper underneath, which is very handy because it used to be over here. And then I would get my exercise that way. I'd walk over there and get some paper. And then over here, where the printer was, I'd print things. But now it's right there, handy. And then I have a box of embroidery thread and charms. And then 2 boxes of old photos and cards, I think. And then some fabric and lace in that suitcase. Over here, my sewing area is nice and neat. I can bring that sewing machine and put it up there. I just don't know what I would do with I'd have to abolish some of those sewing machine drawers for my snippet rolls. I have these kind of arranged for the different types of fabrics, and then this last one is all very small, mostly all small pieces of fabric or lace. And you've seen all of this if you've seen my other videos of this room, but if not, I'll just quickly show you what's here. This is just for decor. So I like it. I put my quilting my quilt tops, not quilting, but my quilt tops inside of here. And if you haven't seen my other video, I showed this chair that I recovered. I'd had this chair like for 40 years, something close to 40 years. Then I had gotten a long time ago at a fabric store. And I think that's about it. As far as what I did anyway. I think if you're interested, I kept these the same. Those are my stamps. And then stamps, and then 6 of these boxes with die cuts, stamps, seed labels, perfume labels, things like that. I hate to open this bottom one, but this is, if you want reality, this is where I keep some extra water and some ink and paper towels. Or printer's ink, The back of this desk, I had, or do want to have my husband see if he can fix something that's more permanent, like a board. But for now, like a board from here to here and across all the way across the window, but not enough so I can open the window, but no more than that. And then, or anyway, you know, you get the drift. I wanted a little higher, like to be even with this, but I put books there, a couple layers of books, and then I have some things that I don't really want on my desk, so it works well to have it there, and those things as well, extra lace and some embellishments and different things. So that works out well. This is perfect to just have this one little row of things, and then I have room to work. So I think I covered everything. Yeah, if you want to see what's in other things, you can watch my other videos of this room. But I do have to refine in here. It is what is labeled there, the napkins, and those two are book covers. Things that I will probably use for book covers. And then all of this is vintage seam binding, sewing, vintage sewing things, zippers, different things like that, and some of my paint stuff. I have in this drawer, these drawers, embellishments. So this doesn't make too much sense. I think I need to move these and put other stuff in here. It works now because I know where to find it. But those are like some of my charms and things. And then in here is more buttons. And then in here is paint. So it will be hard to change those because I know right where to go to get those things. And then, of course, you saw this before. It's clean. And then in here, I just have excess things like stapler, some of these scissors, what are they called? Pinking shears. Pinking shears, and those are like old sewing parts, which have no business being in there. Same with this calculator. That's a big mess in there. It needs work. I need to utilize that better. All of that could go somewhere else. And then the bottom drawer just has more sewing things in there. So it does require me to refine those too. So the next day I work will be refining the drawers. Then I would rather be making things and creating than actually organizing. Although once I have the organization done, it's very nice to work in here. So you have to do both. Part of cleaning up the mess. Okay, I think we've gone on long enough, and I will say goodbye. And thank you for watching, if you still are. Well, obviously, if you heard that, you are. But thank you so much for watching this video, and happy creating, everyone. Bye-bye.